The first articles written about Amazon told about this guy who moved to Bellevue, Washington to open an online bookstore. Just Google an image of a young Jeff Bezos and then imagine him sitting in his garage with piles of books and boxes around him and Amazon.com spray painted on the wall next to him. He is the perfect example of starting with nothing and scaling a business to one of the largest in the world. Can you imagine what the company would be like today if he is still doing everything himself or with just a small team? I can tell you it wouldn't be even close to what it is today. Bezos had a vision and the foresight to give up the grunt work and let his team handle the day-to-day operations. Congratulations on entering the second phase of scaling your quilt shop. This is where you get to take all the clarity you gain from the align phase and start integrating it into your daily operations. You now know your top customers, the big promise you offer them, and the queen bee role that will help you deliver on that promise. It's time to step out of the hustle and grind role and into the role of a true leader who will guide your company to greatness. This is where the fun really begins. My name is Jacob Curtis. I'm a CPA and Profit First professional. I started Curtis Accounting Solutions to remove the stress of doing the bookkeeping and taxes for small business owners and to provide practical business advice to help quilt shops piece together financial freedom. I'd love to hear your thoughts on today's episode, so please leave a comment and remember to like, share, and subscribe. Before we get started on the integrate phase, let's take a quick test to ensure that our big promise and our QBR are in sync. For instance, I teach Profit First to help quilt shops achieve financial freedom, and Mike Michalowicz writes books to simplify entrepreneurship. What's your big promise and QBR? Let's plug them in and make sure that they make perfect sense. Maybe your big promise is to teach people how to sew and your QBR is creating simple kits. Your to test would be, I create simple kits to teach people how to sew. Or maybe your big promise is to have a 2-week turnaround time and your QBR is never letting the long arm machine stop. To test would be, I never let the long arm machine stop to have a 2-week turnaround time. Now that your big promise and QBR are aligned, it's time to rally the troops and work together to protect and serve that QBR, like it's your very own baby. You're all in this together, and each and every team member has a vital role to play. Take our long arm quilting team, for example. Their job is to make sure that those machines never stop churning out beautiful quilts, directly serving our QBR and fulfilling our big promise. And the rest of the team members are protecting it by doing their primary jobs, whether that means providing top-notch customer service, answering the phone, restocking inventory, or keeping the store looking clean. But also when needed, stepping up to the plate when our long arm quilting team needs a hand. We're a team and we're going to make sure that our QBR is served and protected. It's important to understand the difference between the QBR and primary job. The QBR is the most important activity to fulfill your big promise, but it can and should be more than one person's job. Multiple people and systems should serve the QBR. It's about the role, not the person. Even the beehive has designated queen slayers if the queen does not perform well enough, proving it's not about the single individual. So now we need to determine everyone's primary job. This is easiest done using the KRA job description. KRA stands for Key Results Areas. In a KRA, you define each team member's primary job and other responsibilities. You clearly define what winning looks like. KRA helps you and each team member get on the same page so their role and responsibilities are crystal clear. A clear and effective KRA serves as a communication guide and reminder to the team members about what is necessary to succeed in their roles. Failure to adhere to the KRA means not achieving success and requires adjustments to be made. When writing KRAs, it's best to follow these simple rules. 1, don't make it complicated. KRAs should be clear and only outline a team member's responsibility and results. Avoid growth paths or company missions to it. Number 2, keep it short. Limit the KRA to 1 page. Remember, it's meant to be an outline of key responsibilities, not every single task the team member does. Number 3, be realistic. Keep in mind that team members have other commitments and other rhythms, like staff meetings and stand-ups and things. Creating a KRA might even reveal that a role requires more than one person. And 4th, remember that KRAs change. This document sets the pace for what winning looks like now, but it will change as the role or the person in the role changes. Be flexible. The best way to learn how to create a KRA is to start with your own. Pull out a sheet of paper, and at the top of that paper, fill in your name and title. Next, summarize your job summary. This should be a basic overview of what you're responsible for. Finish this sentence. My primary job is blank, fill in the blank. Try to keep it to one sentence and be concise. For example, a quilt shop owner with 1 or 2 employees might write, my primary job is serving the QBR and managing the business. Next, add 3 to 5 key responsibilities, explaining these responsibilities in a few words. For example, share the company mission and annual goals, keep the long arm sewing, maintain a clean and tidy store, or train team members. Leave enough space between each for the next piece, what winning looks like. Next, figure out what winning looks like in this role for each responsibility. How will you know if you're succeeding? How will you hold yourself accountable? Define some specific activities you must engage in to succeed. These should be simple and action-oriented. For example, explain to team members the mission at the weekly team meeting, or track the running time of the long arms, or each hour walk through the store. Last, sign and date your KRA. A KRA is a formal acknowledgement that says, I understand my responsibilities and take ownership for them. For team members' KRAs, both of you should sign and date. Remember to keep all of this information on one page. Anything longer is too much, so you may think that you need to be the one to build out all of your team members' KRAs. But that doesn't work very well, and it can be very time-consuming and overwhelming if you have more than just a few employees. A more effective way to get team members aligned and integrated is to share your KRA as a guide to your team so they can see how to make one and that you have one too. Give each of your direct reports an editable template and ask them to fill it out with what they think their KRA is for the role that they're in. Regroup and compare your notes in your next one-on-one with each direct report. Remember, this is a conversation. The key to getting buy-in is allowing your team members to speak into the KRA and then to refine it together. Who knows? They may surprise you and reveal something they do in their job that you didn't even know about. Create the final draft and sign it together as an acknowledgement that both of you are clear on the expectations for the role. Build KRAs into your rhythm. Occasionally use them as a checkpoint in your ongoing and one-on-one meetings to see if team members are on track or if adjustments need to be made. In summary, your big promise is your number one commitment to your customers. It's what they most value for. It's what you stake your reputation on. The Queen Bee role, or QBR, is the highest priority activity that ensures you keep your big promise, and it should be served by multiple team members and systems when possible. Everyone in the company knows what the QBR is and knows what to do if the QBR is not being served. The primary job of any individual is the most important function they serve within the scope of their responsibilities. For some team members, their primary job directly serves the QBR. For other team members, their primary job protects the QBR. Using the key results areas method, create a KRA for yourself and for each of your team members, making sure to define their primary job. Please let me know what your primary job is in the comments below and send me an email at jacob@curtisaccountingsolutions.com. I look forward to hearing from you, and remember to follow me at Curtis Accounting Solutions on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.